DAG NBA Remake Challenge. What is up, dudes? I'm DAG, and this is my art channel. For you guys this week, I am starting a series of videos. This is going to be the NBA Remake Challenge. Basically, I'm going to be recreating all 30 of the NBA logos. I'll be releasing 10 videos with 3 of the logos each. We're going to be starting with the Sixers, the Celtics, and the Knicks. All 3 very classic East Coast teams. And yeah, that's it, guys. Here we go.
The Philadelphia 76ers. Alright, guys, so as I get started with this one, I'm starting with the Sixers. Those are the old logos that have been used throughout the Sixers history. And then we have the snake logo, which they used a couple years ago in the playoffs. And I really liked when they used that one. So I'm taking inspiration a lot from this one, and also using inspiration from their current one, which you see right here. And as I get started here, I'm going straight ahead with the snake, and I'm making it bite its own tail, which is a common symbol for the world snake. And so I'm kind of stealing that a bit for this and using that as inspiration for my design of the Sixers logo. And here I'm just trying to get this star right, which is not always the easiest thing to do, getting a perfect star. And so I make the star, I duplicated a bunch here on Procreate, and I put 13 stars because it's for the 13 original colonies. A lot of patriotic symbols throughout the Sixers logo, and you guys are going to see that coming further here with the Liberty Bell. And yeah, so I just got to get things lined up perfectly here for myself, and that's basically is the goal here for these logos, is to try to make things look crisp and nice, because it's a design, and a logo for something has to be very crisp. It can't have stray lines. It's not sketchy. It has to be very crisp and design worthy, I guess. But yeah, I changed the color of the snake, I got the basketball in there, and now I am adding that Liberty Bell, which is a important piece of Philadelphia history, and I think it's cool to add to the logo here, because they're the 76ers, which means we got our independence then. So it's all about our America, basically, and the independence of America. So got that Liberty Bell hooked up on there, got the little Sixers logo, and I put the little crack in the Liberty Bell, which a lot of the logos actually leave out, but I like to have that in there. And so yeah, I'm finishing it up here, cleaning up a couple of things before I add this cool background, which I'll be doing on all of them. And that is it for this first one. Real quick, real simple. This was the first one that I had actually drawn, so I'm not sure if it's the best one I've done, but I liked it. I thought it was a good start for sure on these. The New York Knicks. And now we are moving on to the New York Knickerbockers, which I have no clue what that really is. I think it means you're just a New York person, you're somebody from New York. Basically, when I looked it up, that's what it is. But anyways, here is the classic logos throughout history. You can see it hasn't changed a lot throughout their time and I'm kind of going off of this current logo that they have. It's very simple, very clean. Overall I like it, but I just want to make it more New York, like have a symbol of New York in there more than just the New York Knicks. And if you're a New Yorkian, you gotta have the biggest symbol in my mind, being from Wyoming and seeing New York from afar, is the Empire State Building. So that is what I decided to put in here initially. And as you guys can see, I just did a little sketch here, have the little side photo, the reference photo. So I'm just drawing that up best I could, and then I'm doing an outline in their blue color. And I decided to keep their same colors. I think it's a good color scheme. It's orange and blue is a complementary color, so it works out nice. And here you guys can see as I get further in, I was thinking maybe I could make an apple look like a basketball, and then I just was thinking that was a little bit silly, so I moved away from that. I put these little clouds kind of being like the skyline. We got the clouds and the skyline, and then I'm decorating this building. Got the basketball and the team name and such, as is normal for basketball logos. But yeah, this is kind of, we're getting towards what this one is going to look like as well. And I had an okay time with this, but the building was kind of off center here. So what you guys are looking at is a lot of really close detail work that I was doing on the inside here. And it was, it was fun, but I was kind of glad for it to be over by the end of it, because there's a lot of detail work. I just wanted this Empire State Building to look perfectly correct, because it's a logo. It's got to be nice and clean. So here I'm playing with these clouds now. I was not really a big fan of what I was doing with that, so I split it in half. I duplicate it so that it's exactly the same on both sides, which I thought was a good idea. And I think I do this again with this kind of like, it almost looks like fog or water. I wanted it to look like water because New York is surrounded by water. And so now you kind of get this New York vibe from my finished product here. You got the Empire State Building. It's basketball, you got the basketball. And then the little texture I put behind there, I thought was better than the traditional clouds. So I can read it either way, as clouds or as water, perhaps. And like I said, that duplication and flipping it onto both sides is what made it look symmetrical. And I think that's very important in a logo type drawing, is that symmetry. And yeah, I like this one a lot. I think it came out cool. And I don't know if the Knicks would actually use it, but I think it's cool. So moving on. The Boston Celtics. All right, guys, as we get started with the Boston Celtics here, we can see all their old logos, very classic logos. I've always liked the Celtics colors. Been a fan of the Celtics myself, especially back when the Big Three were in action over in 2008, when they won the championship and played Kobe and stuff like that. I was a big fan. And as you guys can see, their little leprechaun guy, he's such a classic logo, and that's why I'm kind of straying away from him, because I can't outdo that one. It's just a classic NBA logo, and as we get started here, I'm not going to use that, and I'm going to kind of do my own thing. And when I think of Celtic style or something around that theme, I think of kind of like Braveheart, even though I know that is Scotland. So I use this big sword, and I think of like a claymore or a long sword. I think it's a cool symbol for this. I put that triangle on there, and everything's kind of moving really quick with this one as I make this design. And I think it turns out really well here. I've already kind of got the basis of what I want to do. As you guys can see, everything's moving along really quickly. And then towards the end here, it's the same as the Knicks logo, where I have to touch up everything once I got my main idea. And that is the brunt of the work here, is the touching up of each little line. And sometimes when you duplicate things and like paste them again on Procreate, it leaves little weird lines on the borders, and I had to clean those up some. And yeah, other than that, I think this one looks really nice. I like that it's different from the other two that I've done, and it's different from a lot of NBA logos you'd see now. Oh, and I forgot to mention the clovers here. Of course, you got to add those there. Those are really what make it the Celtics, I think, is those clovers. I drew those myself, by the way. I didn't copy and paste those. But yeah, I decided to use more of the gold in this because I really like the Celtics gold and green together. And I left out the black. I mean, I used the background black, but I'm not going to keep that. And so yeah, usually the Celtics are the black and green and white more. But yeah, I kind of traded the gold for the black, and I'm pretty happy with my decision here. So yeah, as I finish up cleaning this up and getting that background in, I really like this one. I think it was super successful for what I'm wanting to do here. And yeah, that is it for these 3 logos. This is the first one out of 10. So we're gonna hit it to the credits now.
All right, guys, so that is it for this one. Which ones did you like best? Celtics, Knicks, Sixers? Personally, I think I'm gonna have to give it to the Sixers. I think that one's my favorite, and it was my first one that I did. So out of these 3, there's more to come that I like better, actually. So stay tuned for the next videos dropping on this series of NBA logo remakes. And thanks for being here. If you guys have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below, and drop me a like, subscribe if you want. And that's it, guys. Thanks for being here.